Hello, everyone. This is Jasneet from Habits Over Diets, welcoming you to yet another edition of a conversation with one of my amazing clients and human beings, Ruma Malik. Hi, Ruma. Welcome on board.
Hi, Jasneet. Thank you.
Thank you for coming here with me today, Ruma. Like I was, we were conversing just before we pressed the live button that I'm really looking forward to this chat that we're going to have today. Um, so, for everyone who's joining us live, as well as the people who will be seeing this as a replay, Ruma and I, we started working together, in about Jan and February last year, 2020, and she was, she's been one of the most, what do I say, wise, worldly wise as well as inwardly wise clients that I've ever worked with. It's been a sheer honor to help her, guide her, coach her through her health journey, through her weight loss journey, through her habit change journey. And like always, I'm very excited to learn from her today on this interview about what was going on for her before and what are some of the ways she changed. While I understand these things otherwise, but it's always exciting to do this in a live format. So thank you, Ruma, for joining us. Let's start by sharing the viewers a little bit about who Ruma is. Can you give us a little introduction so that people know you better?
Yeah. Well, firstly, let me say this has been one of the most fun 18 months of my life. They've been exciting, interesting, frustrating, maddening, and all of it.
Yes.
But I've really, really, really had a good time. And it's incredible even today for me to think how much weight I've lost. Um, Let me just take you back to the beginning. And that is that I'm 59 years old, postmenopausal. I lead a very heavy scheduled work day. I'm a working professional with many irons in many fires. So there's hardly any time I had to call my own. I have a 14-year-old child going through an incredibly interesting teenage. That's all I
Yes.
can say. When I have a lot of humor at times like this. Um, and a husband who, with the moment I tell him I'm going on a diet, he tries to run out of the door. I used to be a horrible person the minute I said I was on a diet, and that everybody
Right.
wanted to run out of the door. So that's who I am, and that's who I. No, I don't think I am that. I
Yeah.
was that. I
Mm-hmm.
was that in January 2020.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a powerful, introduction. And you, like you rightly said, you're one person who cannot, will not, sit idle. You love action. You love taking on new challenges. And for the viewers, I also want to set things in perspective that. This past year that we're talking about, these past 17, 18 months that Ruma and I have been working together through different rounds of the shift program. This was also, March COVID hit us, right? So this was an incredibly difficult period, and it continues to be for many of us, for most of us, in fact. And to embark on a change journey at such a time when it's even more challenging to just maintain what you have. Ruma embarked on a change journey, and not only she embarked, but she committed to it again and again. And she was through, she joined me in Feb. She joined the July edition of the shift program, and she rejoined the Jan edition this year. Because like I've, our habits, our beliefs, are the way we live is decades of stuff. So we cannot expect things to change, in a jiffy or in quick, few week programs. So Ruma committed to the change at one of the most difficult times anyway in history, and that probably makes this even more special. What she's sharing with us today. So Ruma, tell us, before we started working together, what was going on in your life? What were some of the frustrations you had? What were the things that were probably keeping you stuck?
Well, looking back, um, some of the beliefs that become our realities. Um, I was grossly overweight, grossly obese. I was 59. I had hypertension. I had diabetes. And I knew that I was on a very slippery slope
Hmm.
to basically become a very sick individual. I hate being dependent on anybody. I hate being sick. I hate having to be at the mercy of other people. So, my first thing was that if I don't do something now, I'm going to be, I won't have the choice left very soon. Life will take choices out of my hand the more I let things just pass. And it's very easy actually to let things just pass, to let things keep flowing. And
Yeah.
it's easy. You get into that flow and you don't want to shake the boat and you don't want to swim upriver. Things are moving. You're happy. You have a great life. Everything is going fine, and to then start saying that you're going to jump off the lifeboat and go try swim up the river when you've got the floods coming down on you, most people would think you're nuts. So that
Sure.
was my belief at that time, that I needed to do something urgently
Mm-hmm.
to take control. I'm a control freak. So I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to take control of my life,
Mm-hmm.
of my body, and of my life.
Mm-hmm. And at that point of time, what were some of the beliefs? Because I remember our conversation, back in Jan 2020. What were some of these preset, you know, beliefs that you had in mind about how it is to get on a weight loss program, which prevented you perhaps from, committing yourself? What were some of those beliefs based on past experiences?
Well, in the 59 years of my existence, I think for 49, I must have been engaged in some form of weight loss or the other. You name it, I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And you name it, I failed at it. Because you would go to health farms, you would go. I have even been in a hospital for
Mm-hmm.
2 months as a child at age 12 to see what was wrong with my metabolism. I was at health farms. I tried every diet on the earth. Anybody wrote a diet book, I was the first person to either go buy it or have someone present it to me. That, okay, now maybe this will be the magic that you need. And, there is no magic wand. And then you become more and more and more disillusioned. You become scared of failure. You feel the only way you can lose weight is either by eating horrible boiled food with no salt and no oil day after day. You have no right to expect pleasure out of food. That is something you are told. That if you are fat, you must be overeating. You must be
Mm-hmm.
eating cakes and burgers and cokes and everything else every day. Otherwise, why are you fat? And that is simply not true.
Yeah.
You deny your
Hmm.
whole life, you deny yourself pleasure of food. Secondly, you deny yourself a lot of simple freedom,
Mm-hmm.
freedom of clothes, freedom of
Hmm.
movement, freedom of social interaction. Everywhere you are faced with images, you are faced with preconceived notions. And at a point, you are in a situation where you don't even want to challenge them anymore. You're tired. So you smile when someone says, Ye kha lo, kuch nahi hoga. You smile when somebody says, oh, it doesn't matter if you are overweight. How does it matter? you're looking nice anyway. You smile at
Hmm.
this, you smile at that, because how long do you go on fighting the world around you?
Yes.
So you get very tired, and then at some point, you almost give up hope that this is how it is going to be.
Going to be. Yes. Absolutely.
And that is very disempowering. That is very, you're in a sad, depressed, repressed situation, and 99% you'll find fat people smiling because they hide the pain behind.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, it's true. Jolly and fat usually go together.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Ruma, because when we share, and which is why I love doing these interviews with with you, and we I'd interviewed you, I think, same time last year. We So many people have so many of similar struggles, but we just don't talk about it in this manner, right? We don't talk about it, that it's okay to struggle, and it's okay to fail, and but it's also okay to trust and to try again, right?
In this
And
world, Jasmeet, nobody is allowed to fail.
yes.
There is no acceptance of failure.
Hmm.
If you're on a diet, you must succeed.
Yeah, I think yeah, which is why it makes it even more difficult to trust any new process, to
Yeah,
trust anyone new, because you've been there, done that.
yeah.
So which brings me to my next question, that like you've said, you tried everything that was available. It was tried, dusted, and done away with. So when we spoke last year, what what made you feel that this might work? What was going on in your mind when we had a conversation about shift and about habits?
Well, I think the one thing that struck me the
Mm-hmm.
most is because in a master class, you asked a question
Mm-hmm.
that most of us consider ourselves to be intelligent women. Most
Hmm.
of us are successful,
Hmm.
intelligent women. So
Mm-hmm.
most of us know and have our life in control.
Hmm.
Most of us can control and live the life we want to lead,
Hmm.
except in this one area where we seem to not have control.
Control. Hmm. Yes.
And the question you asked was, do you know the few simple things you could be doing wrong
Hmm.
in this whole setup
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
has led to this? It's
Hmm.
very few simple things that you
Hmm.
have to correct.
Hmm.
And that got me thinking that this person is A, accepting that you're an intelligent, successful human being.
100%. Yeah.
That's number one.
Hmm.
So, number one, she is not coming from a space of being patronizing. You have a problem, I have the answer, come to me, bow down to me, and I'll give you the pill.
Hmm.
So, number one, you are accepting that the other person in front of you has everything in place, is an intelligent, successful person. There are few things they don't know that can be corrected. Now,
Yeah.
that appealed to the logical part of me.
Mm-hmm.
That, yes, there are many things I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe there are
Mm-hmm.
things which I don't know. And if
Mm-hmm.
I can do those right,
Hmm.
then I will figure this one out.
Wow. So tell me that even though you had tried several approaches, you were also, at the same time, what I see here is that you were open to the idea of um, accepting that maybe there are still some things I don't know,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, if
Because
you know everything, then you should have done it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well,
If you
okay.
haven't
Yeah,
done it, there are things you
huh,
don't know. It's not
there's a
that
gap.
you've done it and you've been unsuccessful because you've done
Yeah.
them stupidly or you failed
Yes.
at doing that.
Yes.
This is a different take that you don't know something,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
could be different to what you've done before,
Hmm.
because what you've done before didn't work for you.
Hmm. Yeah,
And that has
absolutely.
more to do with methodology than you. It was the
Hmm.
method that failed, not you.
Not you. 100%. Wow. I love that. Yeah.
So if there are
Thank you for
methods
sharing
that
that, because
fail,
yeah,
that's important to
that
know.
one sentence, yeah, that one sentence is hugely liberating, right? The
Yeah,
method failed.
yeah,
Don't put it on you as a person.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really what is it? That's what it's all about, and it's been all about in the 18 months of
Mm-hmm.
being in a respectful space
Hmm.
where everybody has had an individual journey
Hmm.
and everybody has had very, very different methods of their own
Hmm. Yes. Totally unique. Yeah.
to reach wherever they've been
Hmm.
reaching.
Hmm. Thank you for pointing that out, because sometimes, like when I show up on the calls, whether it's a one-on-one call with you or with the whole group, I'm being totally myself, right?
Yeah,
And you don't realize that maybe you're also being compared with people's past experiences, and
of
those
course.
past experiences weren't as welcoming and as empowering, right? So it's nice to hear this because, yeah, it never struck me that this could. Uh, or rather it doesn't strike me as the biggest thing that about shift, right? That you're treated as
No,
a
it
human
really
being with
is
all
because
kinds of
I
successes
always
behind
tell
you.
you, you are so empathetic to understand my individual journey and about the 30 women I've been with from January to now. Each of those 30 women have had 30 different journeys.
Stories, yes.
And when you go to a dietitian and they give you a diet, it is out of fear and stress when you eat and what you don't eat, and then the stress of getting onto the weighing scale in their office, and this headmistress or this headmaster looking at you and saying, "You've been a naughty girl, you've been eating something, you haven't lost weight this week." That's how it usually is. That the day
Wow.
before a weigh in, there is
Hmm.
stress
Hmm.
because you haven't lost weight for whatever reason.
Wow. Yes. And and at the same time, that experience is powerful and it's helpful because for many people, maybe, for example, in shift, we really don't have people who are trying to lose weight for the first time, right? We
No,
rarely have new moms.
no.
We rarely have youngsters who've put on some weight and trying to lose it because for them, probably some traditional methods can work, right? When you're on this ride for the first time, maybe you take a diet plan, you follow it. You're a young person in your early 20s or late 20s, and things work out for you. You don't have to do too
Correct,
much of inward work, right? But when
correct.
you've
Yeah,
carried that excess weight for a long part of time, then it's
yeah,
getting that, then somewhere it's attached to your identity. And then
absolutely.
also it's important to have, yeah, and then also it's important to have gone through these experiences, because guess what, it's not like they don't work, but they don't continue to work for you as you move through life.
I mean, I have no problem if they're working for lady one, two,
Yes.
three. They don't
Yes.
work for
Yes.
me.
For you. Yeah.
They didn't work for me.
Yes.
And I have to find for my system, for my mindset, for
Yeah.
my life, a system that works for me. I have
Yes.
nothing against keto or any of the other diets, the Atkins. They work for people, that's great. I tried it,
Yeah.
it didn't work
Yeah.
for me. It
Absolutely.
worked for
So
a little while and then it comes
yeah,
back.
then it stops working because, and at the same time, when you've gone through all of those, then you appreciate this process a lot better, right? So
Yeah.
tell me, as you went through shift, oh man, going back to our conversation in January 2020
Oh my.
about the kind of challenges you had that time. I wish we could
Yeah.
have those challenges, right? So, what was going on in your head that time when you joined? And as you start working through shift, what were some of the beliefs that started changing for you?
Well, number one, I remember talking to you even about wondering whether I should join or not. And
Yes,
I had
yes,
overseas business travel, I had weddings in the family, I had an international trade fair coming up. I was looking at 30-hour days nonstop for 3 months.
yes,
And
yes. I remember.
it was crazy because I said, yeah, but I can't do this.
Yes.
How am I supposed to follow a regime when I'm all over the place?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I really remember the first thing you said was, when do you think you can take, chutti from life for 4 months and say, okay, I'm not going to do anything and I'm just going to lose weight. And after
Lose weight.
that, you go
Yeah.
back to
When will
your
you?
life and you put it all over again, back again, and you said you are sabotaging even before you begin.
Yes.
You have to lead a life and be fit within the life you lead. You can't stop life. And that was a eureka moment, that was one of those, ah, where, yeah, you can't stop life for 4 months. You might as well go into the Himalayas, and not come back. you know
Yes.
Go up onto the mountains and only eat herbs
Yes.
and walk every day, and then that's it. But if you have to lead a normal urban life, and you are not a hermit, you have to fit a system that suits your life, or
Yeah.
make a
There you.
life that suits a
Absolutely.
system. And
Hmm.
that is what I have learned. I mean, I remember that first trip I was
Mm-hmm.
going to Germany, and I was really stressing about, how I'm going to eat there. And
The breads and the cheeses.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you said, okay, why are you stressing? What are you going to be looking forward to? I said, yeah, all the sausages and all the breakfast and all of this. And I remember you saying, yeah, but eat it. You won't put on weight. I promise you, you won't put on weight. I'm like, this woman is mad. How am I not supposed to put on weight? Eating sausages and frankfurters and cheese and all of that, and
Huh.
working
Huh.
business dinners and business lunches when I can't just eat a little bit of salad and leave the rest, kind of a thing,
Right.
and it was crazy because I
So,
did that for a month and a half and I didn't put on
yeah.
weight.
Yeah. So I remember that was such a big win, right? Right
Oh,
from the start.
that was awesome.
Yeah, you shared it that it's never happened that I've gone on these one of these longish tours and not come back heavier. So what did you do differently?
Okay, that was the first thing you taught me, which I have
Mm-hmm.
followed till today,
Mm-hmm.
is think what you're going to eat.
Hmm.
Plan what you're going to eat. Make
Hmm.
sure you don't go hungry when you're going out for dinner or a lunch. Make
Yes.
sure you always have some food in your bag, in your car. If you feel hungry, you eat.
Yes.
Drink water, drink lot of water, keep yourself hydrated. Don't stress if you have to eat a sausage. And if you've eaten a sausage the next meal, you eat your normal meal again. Don't say, oh,
Yeah.
ab to kuch na ho gaya, so you might as well now binge. Ab to
Yeah.
kuch nahi ho sakta. You've eaten a
Yes.
sausage, now you might as well have 4 slices of cheese.
Hmm.
You really said, don't do that.
Hmm.
Just go back to a normal meal. It's okay.
Hmm. Yeah. You don't have to compensate for anything.
And
Okay.
I remember I didn't starve, I didn't binge, and I ate
Mm-hmm.
everything I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't put on weight. It's still
Yes.
wonder. It is still a case of wonder. How did that happen?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So tell me. let's talk about some of these beliefs that you had. So take me through, like, what are the top, say, three, if we say top three, or we'll talk through, the number really doesn't matter, but what are the top three beliefs that you had, that you were very firm that this is how it is, and what have they been replaced with?
Okay, the first was I hate boiled food.
Hmm.
I like nice, light, interesting
Hmm.
food. I don't like boring, horrible food. When I
Hmm.
go to a table to eat after a whole day of hard work,
Hmm.
I don't want to be munching like a cow.
Hmm.
You must enjoy food.
Yes.
So that was my big one, that you're not going to tell me to eat boiled food.
Hmm.
The second thing was that you're not going to tell me to exercise for 2 hours every day. I don't have the time. I hate exercise. I hate sweating.
Huh.
And I cannot do it.
Huh.
I've never exercised. I don't want to exercise. And I will
Yeah.
not exercise.
Yes. 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 I remember that. Yeah.
That was a very big one for me.
Huge. Yes.
Yeah. And the third was that I wanted my sugar levels and my medical parameters, my blood parameters, blood works should become
Hmm.
better. So I
Hmm.
should be on a healthy environment, because I know there are a lot of systems where they tell you to eat butter chicken and burgers when wanting to lose weight. But they'll tell
Hmm.
you to have 1 teaspoon of butter chicken and starve yourself the rest of the day. And,
Yes, I hear you.
you know and I'm like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, that I'm now 59. I'm menopausal. I have health issues which I want to address. This is not a cosmetic. I'm not here to become Miss World. I'm here to become a healthy middle-aged person, and
Hmm.
I
Wow.
recognize that my body is going to take time to lose
Hmm.
weight, because I am
Hmm.
at this phase of my life.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
those were the top ones.
Hmm. So as you work through shift, from last year onwards, what are some of the things that have changed for you? What are some of the things that you feel you've benefited, not just physically but overall, um, through the shift approach?
Well, number one, uh, I now know how to enjoy my food.
Mm-hmm.
Every bite I savor, I close my eyes, I relish every taste. My
Hmm.
senses are
Hmm.
totally alive to
Mm-hmm.
my taste buds.
Hmm.
Every morsel I can taste,
Mm-hmm.
and I can feel my tongue tingling with
Hmm.
every beautiful taste. So that I really enjoy,
Hmm.
that you can
Okay.
sit on the table and enjoy your food
Hmm.
and know what you're eating.
Hmm.
The second thing is that now I instinctively, yeah, it's a habit now that I know that my vegetables and my fruit become my main intake.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very large part of my intake, that
Mm-hmm.
I eat very good food.
Hmm.
And when I say good food, it has nothing to do with whether it's fried or non-fried or carb or this or that. I eat any fruit, I eat any vegetables, but whatever I eat very well.
Hmm.
Um, that is, it's been hugely liberating
Hmm.
to sit and enjoy food.
Hmm.
Now I know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is I've actually started exercising. Couldn't believe that.
Woohoo! How did that
Because
change?
yeah, that is massive. Because I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't believe, you asked us a question on our first round, that you have
Hmm.
24 hours a day.
Hmm.
And if you're a serious gymmer, you
Hmm.
would gym for an hour, two
Hmm.
hours, 2.5 hours. What do you do for the rest of the time? So you negate movement
Hmm.
with exercise.
Hmm.
And it was more important, we learned, to keep your body moving
Hmm.
all the time.
All the time.
And if you
Yes.
did that, you didn't need to exercise for 2 hours in a gym.
Hmm.
So, as you moved your body, your blood circulation improved, your food got better digested, you hydrated yourself constantly, your whole relationship with food versus exercise changed. You didn't
Hmm.
reward yourself with a candy bar because you worked out for 2 hours in the gym,
Yeah.
because it wasn't necessary.
Wasn't torture. Yeah.
It wasn't torture. You just
Hmm.
enjoyed it. So I remember the second round, I had a very tough professional time, if you remember. I used to
Yeah.
have to sit on my computer for 12 hours a day. And I would put an alarm on my phone every hour to just get up and just move my arms and just walk for 5 minutes, drink two
Yes.
glasses of water, and sit back on my computer.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah.
And uh, it did two things. It brought focus back into the work you were doing because you gave yourself a break.
Mm-hmm.
When you moved, your oxygen levels in your brain and everywhere else moved with you.
Hmm.
Your posture improved because you were not slumping on your computer
Hmm.
out of sheer fatigue,
Hmm.
and you would keep yourself hydrated. So every hour I would just give myself that 5-minute break,
Hmm.
and I think I had a better work output,
Hmm.
and my body felt better
Hmm.
because I was moving
Hmm. All
and I
day.
was coming back to my computer fresh every
Hmm.
time.
Hmm. Not just, yeah. You're moving throughout the day. Your perspective
Yeah,
around
yeah.
how you move your body was not simply limited to the hours you spent on the exercise floor, and it expanded to include all your waking hours.
All
Um,
your waking hours. I mean, it's funny for us now to be sitting and talking.
hmm.
We all got used to walking and talking.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because we used to say, if you're on a phone, why do you have to sit?
Absolutely. Whatever you can do standing, why sit? And if you
Stand,
can walk,
walk,
why stand?
move. If you
Yes,
have a meeting, stand and have your
100.
meeting.
Yes, yes,
You know?
absolutely.
These are little things, but it changes everything.
Hmm.
And you just realize that you've put in those 5 7,000 steps, and you haven't even realized it.
Without realizing. Yes, yes.
And by not changing anything, you've eaten the food you ate,
Hmm.
you've drunk more water. I
Hmm.
was always the person who would eat uh, let's say not calorie dense food all the time. I've
Hmm.
again learned not to say good food and bad food.
Hmm.
Every food is food, but you don't eat calorie dense food all the time.
Yes,
You eat all different kinds of fats, you eat all different kinds of carbs, you eat all different kinds of veggies, you eat everything.
yes, yes. You have an expanded menu to choose from.
Yes.
So, so tell me, Ruma, what were some of the things that were different about, like, what was different about the process that resonated with you as you? Okay, first let's talk about what were the like physically what were the results you achieved. Let's talk about that, and then take us through what were some of the differences that you saw inside shift that resonated with you that helped you achieve those results.
Number one, it is very individually practiced. Each person of the program, their whole program is individual. So
Hmm.
I was moving at my own pace.
Hmm.
I was doing what I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
I could discuss with you what I was not comfortable with.
Hmm.
I could discuss with you where I was stuck
Hmm.
or what I was finding difficult. For example, my sleep time, which was a struggle.
Yes.
Uh, you know, Not having tea and coffee after 6 in the evening was a
Hmm.
struggle.
Yeah.
We learned together how to slowly change those set patterns, moving 1 at a time.
Yes.
And suddenly, after 2 months, you realized you had moved a few feet just by moving those
Yes.
few mm's at a time. Um, so I really found what really worked for me, because
Hmm.
I have a hard disk which is slow. I need to
Mm-hmm.
understand, I need to analyze, I need to absorb, I need
Hmm.
to think. I really need to take it, metabolize it into my system
Hmm. You
before I
need to,
accept it as my reality.
yes, you need to allow the things to seep in, right?
Yes,
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 slowly.
slowly, and
Hmm.
for my body to accept,
Hmm.
and to um, uh, for me to be comfortable with
Hmm.
what I was doing.
Hmm.
Because what I knew when I committed to it was, now this was not something I could try for a few months and then again say, no, it didn't work.
Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to gradually change things so that I could say it's going to
Hmm.
work for me for a lifetime.
Hmm.
Because habits take time to become auto mode, where I don't have to think. If I'm sitting on a dining table, I am going to serve myself my veggies first. I am
Yeah.
going to serve myself my salads first.
Hmm.
Now that's become habit.
Hmm.
I don't have to think about it.
Hmm.
So for that change to happen, I just needed time, and you
Hmm.
allowed me that time. So what is very nice in the system is that while I found all the participants really helping each other, celebrating every win, being positive about every that you changed,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, there is no competition.
Hmm. Yeah.
That is very important, because
Hmm.
again, in a competition, there are winners and losers.
Yes.
So here, there is no competition.
Hmm.
Everybody is moving at their own pace, and
Hmm.
every little win, every little that you
Yeah.
change, you celebrate,
Yeah.
and everybody
Yeah.
celebrates with you.
Yes. Yes. And we always celebrate the process. I
Yes,
don't remember a single time we celebrated. This week I lost 1 kilo, and this week,
yeah,
oh, you didn't lose, and I lost. We've never
yeah,
celebrated
never done
output.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember someone saying, they didn't know what to do for movement. They started ironing because it would keep them standing.
Yes.
And we were like, yay, you were ironing
Yes.
clothes for 2 hours, because,
Yes.
yeah, you were standing for 2 hours,
Yes. Yes.
you
Absolutely.
know. So that, the, uh, I think what comes through after a few months is a huge bond
Hmm.
of support.
Hmm.
There is nobody talking against anybody.
Yes.
This person
Hmm.
is like this person said this, oh my
Hmm.
god, look at this person, looking like this.
Hmm.
I haven't heard anything. And we
Yes.
were quite a diverse group of women
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
all the three groups.
Yes.
um, there is no naming and shaming, there is no negative talk at all, whether it's on call or off call. So it's
Yeah.
been a very, very supportive group, and
Hmm.
that I have really uh, felt very good about.
Hmm.
It really worked for me. I've been always the oldest person in the group, the auntie
Hmm.
G, and
No
it
one
was.
would ever call you auntie, huh? You were
I
always,
am fine. I like my age. Okay, get away by saying a lot of crap.
yes, but you were always, you were always the college student in the group.
But you know
You
what is nice is that everybody from the youngest member
hmm,
to be, the camaraderie
hmm,
that was set in motion during the calls. I think that has been great,
hmm.
and the ideas put forward, because I learned a lot
Yes,
from
from us.
ideas that other people put in.
Yes.
When they worked at something, it worked for them, and I said, "Hey, let's try this," and it worked for me.
Hmm.
And so that is great, and it was
Wow.
always put in a very
So,
positive way.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, it's interesting that you pointed out because when people hear group program, they can even imagine that, we have like a scorecard of,
Yeah, or
everyone's
a kitty
starting
party,
weight, and everyone's beginning, ending weight, and we actually put the scorecard out like a competition, but it's not like that at all.
and then you're given
Um,
stars.
and then you're given
You know,
stars and points.
yeah. I
Yes,
mean, look at.
yes.
I mean, just look at this habit. I mean, we never talk without water being around us.
Hmm. Cheers, Ruma.
Cheers.
Yes, plain old water. Best friends. So, tell me, what would your advice be to someone who is in the Jan 2020 position of, say, if you were to compare, where you were at that time, and they are considering changing, considering committing to shift, they're considering um, trying something different, and all of this is very alien. Like most people, in general, we see self kindness, compassion as kind of like free passes. If coach be kind है, मैं भी kind हूँ, तो मैं तो कुछ नहीं करूँगी. So,
Correct.
what would your advice be to someone who's in that stage, who's wondering, यार ये चलेगा नहीं चलेगा मेरे लिए? What would you say?
Okay, I really think that if you are not self kind, if you
Hmm.
don't love yourself
Hmm.
and you're not kind to yourself,
Hmm.
don't expect the world to be kind to you.
Hmm.
We've all learned this in the last 18 months.
Hmm.
Uh, Self kindness is one of the biggest things you can do for yourself.
Hmm.
But my one thing to everybody trying to join this is, are you ready to do it differently this time?
Hmm.
If you've done many things,
Hmm.
and even if you've not,
Hmm.
whether they've worked for you or they haven't,
Hmm.
are you ready to take responsibility for yourself, for your weight?
Hmm. Hmm.
I used to believe I was at fault, and it was
Hmm.
not my fault. I didn't overeat, so if I'm fat, it's not my fault. I used to get
Hmm.
asthma, so if I didn't exercise, it was not my fault.
Hmm.
I had worked long hours, so if I didn't sleep early, it was not my fault. There was
Hmm.
always a reason and an excuse I gave myself for taking responsibility, for taking charge of your
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
What this program is different to everybody else is, here you have to take charge for yourself.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guide, the coach can guide you, can help you,
Hmm.
but they're not going to give you a detailed diet sheet every morning
Yeah.
and tap you on the knuckles if you don't follow it.
Yeah.
If you don't follow a workout, or if you don't follow something, 99% they're going to ask you why. Because
Hmm.
there would be a deep rooted reason why you're not doing what you're doing or what you
Hmm.
want to do.
Hmm.
So if you're resisting change,
Hmm.
there is a psychological baggage that's holding you down.
Hmm.
And this program is going to help you reach it
Hmm.
and give you the courage to climb over it.
Love
I
that. Yeah.
remember on the end of, I think, on the middle of the second, I was stuck for
Hmm.
weeks
Yeah.
and I was really despairing.
Yeah.
And I was really like, I don't know if I can do this. And I
Hmm.
remember you saying, yeah, but I believe in you
Yeah.
and you can do it.
Yeah.
So to have
Absolutely.
a friend hold your hand is very different to being a crutch.
Hmm.
If you're looking for crutches, don't come on this program.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
If you're looking for a friend who's going to give out your hand, give out a hand and climb, help you climb over,
Hmm.
then have the courage to take charge
Hmm.
of your life, because
Hmm.
only you can do it.
Hmm.
Nobody else can do this for you.
Hmm.
No pill, no liposuction, nothing.
Hmm.
You know, um, unless you take charge and take claim responsibility for yourself,
Hmm.
and you'll find all the tools that you need to
Hmm.
help you take responsibility,
Hmm.
because it's not easy, it's scary.
Hmm. Yeah, it is as liberating it is that we don't
Yeah,
have to, follow someone's instructions to the T, but we can be our own boss. With that
yeah,
liberation, there's also that responsibility. They both
correct.
work hand in hand because if
Very
nobody
scary.
else, yeah, if nobody else is going to tell you what to eat, then you have
No,
to make that decision, and then you have to own up for that decision and
yeah,
have a conversation about those decisions
yeah.
again and again and again and again, and that's not easy.
And also, you have to believe. I mean, I remember when I ate my first chole bhature,
Hmm.
and I ate it, and you kept
Huh.
saying, "Eat it, nothing's gonna
Huh.
happen."
Huh.
To lose that fear that you can eat it,
Hmm.
because the old baggage comes back
Yeah.
to eating fried food, calorie
Hmm.
dense food.
Hmm.
How can you be doing that? You're on a diet. And then I should say, no, I'm not on a diet.
Hmm.
I can eat everything.
Hmm.
So then you have to have that self belief
Hmm.
that out of 21 meals in a week, if you eat half a chole bhature, nothing's going to happen.
Yes. Yes. And when you're
You're
eating
not
that
going
chole
to lose the
bhature,
game.
yeah, and might as well enjoy it fully and relish
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Sit down, enjoy it. Don't, kill yourself that you don't have the will to
Yeah.
resist. You don't need
Sorry.
to.
Yes.
So that was a big one, that you're constantly saying you don't have the willpower, that you give up midway, that this happens, that happens, and finally you're in a system which has no goalpost.
Yeah. Hmm.
You just have to commit yourself to the path
Hmm. And show up.
and show up,
Hmm.
and you'll see others having the same struggles as you.
Hmm.
And learn together that it really isn't that hard
Hmm.
if you are kind to yourself. Again,
Yes.
the main thing is you have to be kind to yourself.
Yes. And that is
And
also a skill. It
yes,
doesn't come naturally to most of
no,
us. That's also a
no,
skill. And you have to
no,
be okay to just invest in building that skill.
yeah,
Wow.
to recognize that skill
Hmm.
every time.
Hmm.
It is again
Hmm.
practice to say, oh
Hmm.
wow, I
Hmm.
did this today. I managed
Hmm.
to do this today. And I'm
Hmm.
still showing up. I mean, through everything we've all been through in the last 18 months,
Yeah.
we've all still shown up
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
And
that is
that.
because it is not dreary, it is not something you're dreading.
Hmm.
I think we all look forward to our weekly conversations. We laugh, we dance, we sing, we talk. It's delightful. And what should be 1 hour invariably spills into an hour and a half you
Yes.
know, or 2 hours, because it's nice
Yes.
sharing experiences and learning from each other, and others also celebrating your win
Hmm.
every
Yes.
time. It's very, very empowering.
Hmm.
So
Thank you,
that
Ruma.
is what I'd really like to say to people: have the courage, you can do it.
Hmm. Yes. And sometimes you will, sometimes your courage will ebb and flow, and you will have
That's
someone who will have the belief in you. So you can
it.
work on borrowed
Yeah,
belief for a little while
yeah,
till you get your own
yeah.
back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And you will climb that. You will, get over that boulder.
Hmm.
And after every mountain there is a valley.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. No escaping that.
No
Thank you so
escaping.
much, Ruma. This has
Thank you.
been a wonderful conversation. Um, Everyone who's watching live, Ruma's spoken from her heart, as she always does. And I would actually also post a link to last year's interview, because that time Ruma was around 5 or 6 months into the journey, and she had some
Yeah.
learnings, and now she's been in the journey for about 18 months. So her learnings are even more deeper. I'm going to share a link to that in the comments. Also, I'm going to be sharing a picture of Ruma from February 2020 and a picture of her from now, so that even visually we can see the changes. But really the changes that have happened with Ruma and
It's
with
more
most clients,
internal.
yeah, they are internal. They're mostly internal. It's about your relationship with food, relationship with movement, defining boundaries for yourself,
Yes.
being okay with showing up imperfectly, and
Yeah.
doing the little things consistently. So those are the things no picture can ever tell you, and which is why I don't even post these pictures like most people do, before after, because वो
Yeah.
चीजें जो अंदर हैं वो कैसे आपको before after में दिखेंगी.
It's
But
very
just for
difficult. I mean, it's
yes.
something even silly that earlier I could not smell perfume on me because your
Mm-hmm.
sense of pleasure, of
Hmm.
smell, I had blocked it.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I put perfume to bed, I can
Hmm.
smell my perfume. It is so
Yes.
lovely.
Yes. Yes.
All part of the self love.
Yeah.
You do it for yourself, finally.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And a very wonderful participant in the program taught us that.
Yeah, absolutely. The amount of learning we have from each other, it's incredible. And which is why, even the clients whom I coach privately, they usually ask that can we also join the group calls? Because, you
Yeah,
learn so much from everyone
yeah.
over there. Amazing. Thank you, Ruma. Thank you for sharing your journey from your heart. Thank you for
Thank
speaking about your experience so truthfully and about your struggles so truthfully. Um, this is very, very helpful. For the viewers who are watching us, you already know I've been talking about this, that shift, which is our habits based and mindset focused weight loss program, is open for enrollments, and I open it for enrollments only twice a year. So after this, we'll open only in January 2022. So if you've been there, done that in terms of trying different things and things haven't worked and you haven't changed habits at a deeper level, then leave me a comment or reach out via a message, and I'll be very happy to have a conversation with you. And this is Jasneet, on that note, signing off. Thank you, Ruma, again for joining me.
thank you. Thank you very much. And guys, take the plunge. She'll pull you through.
Thank you for that word of
Thank
confidence,
you.
Ruma.
Thank
And
you. Thank you very much.
okay, Ruma, just stay online and I'll just end this broadcast, live broadcast. So thank you everyone for joining live, and do leave some love for Ruma on the live, right? And if you have
Sure.
any questions that you want to ask her, please leave those as well, and I'm going to tag her to answer those. With that, thank you. This is Jasneet signing off, reminding you to eat mindfully, laugh for no reason, and don't sweat the small stuff. Bye, guys.